there is also plus 17.7, that one there the same. So that's 139, that's 126. We could think about that one. Actually, good grief. Yeah, land prices are really bad at the moment. Oh, there's one. So that one is below market. Sits behind, oh, it sits behind there. Don't have a clear entrance to there from the yard. But, and it yields well, that's nice. But right now, variable prices on the fields are just horrible. And of course, starting off, I can't, you know, there are obviously plots of land that would be ideal for us to have, and I would have preference to buying, but I kind of would have preference to buying when they're not overpriced. So we will not be buying any land, at least for a little while. I think that obviously that pricing is going to be something I need to keep an eye on, much like checking the vehicle sales every day. See if anything new comes up. I should also be checking the land sales every day and see if the price reduces. Because if they suddenly come out and say, oh, you can buy this land for 20% reduction, then you might want to take out a loan and buy that land immediately while it's cheap. And Field 52 is something we are looking at putting to work pretty much immediately. So I don't really want to put off if it's available. But then we are going to have to concentrate on paying down our debt so that we always have the option of buying land when the time is right as opposed to when we can absolutely afford it. Obviously, my ideal is when I can afford it. As I said, I did remember to lime this field this time around, so the yield should be a little bit greater than it was last time. But long term, probably not a significant thing. So this looks to me approximately 1 bale per row. Oop. That was the other thing. Back on the Osa family farm, we used to use an older version of this Deutz-Fahr baler. Back in Farm Sim 19, there was a more angled, squared off version. It's probably about 10-15 years older than this model. And much cheaper, because all the stuff is generally cheaper. Yes, we are going to make another bale on this row. It's just under a row per bale. Because we're very slightly further on. So really, with our windrow, I don't have to do alternate rows baling. But it's generally a practice I get into because of the way, the turn radius of the tractor frequently doesn't allow you to do adjacent rows, especially on a small harvester. If we're making straw, it's just not going to work out. So maybe having a 90 horsepower tractor would actually fit quite well with the equipment we're using now. Because that way we can lease a harvester, we could use the low horsepower tractor to bale the straw on Follow Me, and this tractor can cart. Cameo, EL, and good morning. I am definitely liking this version of the map. I mean, as far as significant stuff, the only thing that obviously is a thing is the wooden sticks in the hedges stop you. You can still drive through the hedge if you don't drive where a stick is. Yeah, I don't have access, but apparently if I chop down too many hedges, that would reduce the lag, or wouldn't cause the lag to increase. The roadways, which we haven't been on yet today, definitely have a lot more space, which again, from my mind, helps with the bales, because we're using a standard bale trailer. Although it does come with auto load, we are using a bale trailer that does not turn the bales virtual while you're driving down the street. So there are a few times where I have got the bale trailer absolutely stuck in the hedges. Three, 4, and 5. There we go. But the other stuff, you can now grow sugarcane and cotton on this map. I'm not going to do that because it's not prototypical for the area that's modelled. I suppose we will be going out on the street to get home at some point. So in our local area there are 2 farming shows this weekend, which is really bad timing, I think. A lot of vintage tractor and harvesting equipment will be on show. And, you know, for the demonstrators, which show do you go to? And for the general public, which show do you go to? It's not like, oh, I can go to a different show every day this weekend, because I don't have that time. In the past, Mrs. Osa and I have done sort of Renaissance fairs and stuff like that, which is all fun, and we'll spend a day at the fair. But, if there's 2 or more, I can't do Saturday and Sunday. Both of them run on Friday, but unfortunately, because of Mrs. Osa's condition, I don't have any vacation to use for such things. Last year I couldn't go because Mrs. Osa was in the hospital, which nobody's fault really. And I had actually planned. I'd noticed it in advance and had actually planned to go. This year I remembered end of Saturday last week. And it's sort of, that should be coming up. And then Facebook starts telling me about another one in the area, and it's just sort of, why are you doing them all on the same weekend? I mean, admittedly, with some of these things, obviously if they were on different weekends, some exhibitors would be there at both of them, so you'd get to see the same things twice, but I don't know with picking up. Well, this is our baler. The next thing I do is probably going to be more grass. I could do the contract. But collecting the extra grass on this field means more in the baler next time we come to make more grass, which will be probably July. Sneaking forward, there we go. And the other thing I wasn't aware about this tractor was that it could run loader arms. I've tended to find with medium-sized tractors, the loader arm options are quite slim. Things like the New Holland and Case generally don't carry. The T7 won't allow you front loader arms. So as a generic tractor, the T6 is about the biggest I can go as a sort of an all-purpose starting tractor, and the horsepower on the T6 is kind of lacking, as we found with the S6 last couple of weeks. We were struggling with that on some of our loads. And 7,500, we can go a little bit further. 4 and 5. The other thing that is now available is in construction. We now have the Maypole sheds available. I haven't seen that one. But these are all now placeables. I'm not sure, there's nothing in the silos. Nothing in the silo extensions. Containers we have, I believe that's a lime station. Oh, there's a garden pump. Oh. Water tanks with fresh water. I wonder if that's free, because that costs me money. I got the workshop pack loaded, which is where our workshop shed came in. Nothing in the tools. Farmhouses, got the placeable farmhouse pack, so nothing there. Production, Maypole farm mods. So there are production facilities that are on the map. Open air garden mod. What's... Ooh. This production distributes water, fertilizer, seeds and manure to your other gardens. Ooh. Really? How does that work? Well, we only have one garden, so I don't really need that for now. You've got the cow shed, nothing for the horses, the pig shed, the sheep shed, the chicken shed. So the chicken shed will do 1,000 chickens, the base one will do 360 sheep. You get 65 versus 1,000 pigs. You get 1,000 versus 270, nothing for horses. And then the Maypole farm, you've got with the feeding robot for 1,000 and without the feeding robot for 1,000, whereas these are 80 each. Nothing for bees, and nothing for dogs. I need the other bee spawn points. For hedges and walls, you now have the hedge, a wall and dry stone wall. And that's pretty much where we are. Unfortunately for painting, there's no additional textures. So, not a thing. Oops. Oh, time to save. Yes, why not? Okay. Yeah, I think the thing with the greenhouse mod was, obviously I need water and stuff. I have no problem every so often loading a tipper up with with seed and fertilizer or manure and just dumping it in there. That works fine for me. It's the water, especially on this map, the water is a problem because there is no natural water source here. And to be honest, I didn't check to see if there was a water supply point that I could add to the farm. Cost's the same. Yeah, the cost is the same. I just don't know if it charges for water. Okay, I'm guessing we're probably going to make 2 more bales and then have some left over in the baler. So that's the first one. Obviously, the other deal here is I'm not too much fussed with getting everything. Because we're going to mow this field more times. So that grass will still be there next time. Unlike seasons in 19 where grass was supposed to decay. It seems sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't, which was kind of weird. Okay, so no more bales. Turn that off, lift up the pickup. And we can put this out in our shed. So yeah, the whole rationale with changing the production to tomatoes for now is because tomatoes are worth more than potatoes. So I'm really, we're kind of looking to make money until we need the potatoes. The other thing is, disconnect. Oh, yeah, let's wave a chainsaw around. This now gather supports more stuff. So, tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, potatoes and sunflowers. It now produces sugar beets, soybeans, corn and cotton. Okay. In a patch this week. So, far more stuff. Still, we're going to stick with tomatoes. And if we run out to here, you'll see the wall is a little bit further off, and so is the hedgerow. Before this version of the map, the hedge was where I'm standing. So the edge of your trailer's running in the hedge. And if you're carrying bales, you can get hooked up on that quite a little bit. So that's definitely an improvement. And also, as Cavalier Roy told us last week, he's not included any silos in his pack, so I can't double this up. I would have to demolish this and use someone else's silo pack in order to have a double silo system here, and I don't think I have the clearance at the back for a double silo, an open-ended silo. So I would need something like possibly something like that. But comparatively that's a little bit longer, so I'd need to push it back, knock down trees, but they would snap together. Obviously the large one wouldn't work for us here. Okay, let's go fetch the bales. How many did we make? Stats. 19 this time. I think we only made... We made 11 last time and had 2 left over that I made by accident on a contract. We made 254. So we'd be making bales. I didn't put the weight on the back, so we're going to have to grab singles at the moment. When I get back to the yard, we'll put the weight on the back, and then I can bring pairs of bales down. Make the job go faster. I mean, as it is, we've got 180 centimetre bales here, so it's definitely the most efficient method for creating and collecting. I remember rightly, this weight doesn't work well with the loader or the side panel joystick. So if I've got the weight selected, it won't let me use the front loader arms. So that setup can be a source of annoyance, where with FS22 you need to select the piece of equipment that you want to work sometimes. However, if you remember, it's far more intuitive than FS19, where you could unfold a piece of equipment and who knows what was going to happen. Okay. So we're going to need to keep those until first day of June. Which is why I'm thinking maybe the Tedder contract is a good, or the hay contracts would be a good thing to consider. Let's do that one. I know it doesn't really make much difference, but I usually try and collect the bales furthest from the gate first. So we've got 2 more there, and 1 over there. And also the standard rule, always pick them from the bottom, not from the top. Because they're far more likely to fall over if you come at them from above. I mean, it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other as to whether it's quicker to use the use the tow behind wrapper, or whether it's quicker to use the extractor. Well, and bottom line is we have to pick up all the bales anyway. But I don't have to sit there for 20 seconds while the wrapper's wrapping a bale up. I can go run off and do something else.